Serve him, Roland.
He's already been served. I served him. He's taken care of. He's a little slow, but he got it.
Roland Martin from Washington, D.C. this morning. Impeachment hearings. Good morning, Roland.
Tom, simple guy, good morning. Look forward to seeing folks at the HBCU rally today in Annapolis, Maryland at the state capitol, 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live streaming that on Roland Martin Unfiltered, so look forward to seeing folks there. Also, today the Supreme Court hearing for Byron Allen's case against Comcast. We'll be following that. Shout out to my nephew, Christopher, turned 12 yesterday. His dad, Reginald, my brother, turns 52 today, and I'll be 51 tomorrow. So we've got the trifecta.
Happy birthday.
The Barton family. So appreciate that. Tom is right. Today is Impeachment Day. That is, of course, the public hearings begin today on Capitol Hill in the House of Representatives. Donald Trump is trying his best to scuttle that. He's already scheduled a news conference to discuss what's happening in Turkey. He's going to be doing that at the exact same time the impeachment hearings start, but that is not going to stop that from beginning. Joining us right now is Karen Bass, chairwoman of the Congressional Black Caucus out of California. Congresswoman Bass, this is a monumental day, but it's also an historic day, but also a very serious one.
Absolutely, it certainly is. And I think that it's going to be very powerful. I heard Ambassador Taylor in the SCIF, the classified setting room, and he's very powerful. He's very powerful because his credentials are impeccable, and he's very direct and very clear about how inappropriate he thought the entire situation was.
And when we talk, you have some Democrats who are no longer going to be using the phrase quid pro quo, but they're going to be using the
bribery.
Bribery.
Right, exactly. I think, as is typical of the Republicans, they will take the exact language we are using and then minimize it. And so quid pro quo might be a little confusing to some folks. I think bribery is clear. I think extortion is clear. I think that's exactly what happened.
And when we talk about this testimony, it's not just with the ambassador. I mean, we're talking about folks Donald Trump appointed. Now, all of a sudden, he's trying to say that he didn't know a lot of these people. You've got folks like Senator Lindsey Graham calling it, this is just a waste of time. I'm not going to pay any attention. It is dumb. And it is as if they want to be in complete denial about the shameful behavior of Donald Trump.
Well, I think that Trump's his MO is consistent. He always does this. It can be somebody that he knows extremely well, but if he sees that you're in trouble and it might hurt him, then all of a sudden he says he doesn't know the person. But this is more than the president appointed him. This man, Ambassador Taylor, was retired. He had had an excellent career in the military and the Foreign Service. Secretary Pompeo went and brought him out of retirement. And he said to the secretary, I will not take the job unless I can do the job the way I think it needs to be done. That was the condition in which he agreed to the appointment. And then when he got the appointment, he saw, no, we need you to do the political bidding for the president. And he didn't go along with it. So I think that he is a very strong example of what I believe is beginning to happen, which is the people in the State Department are fed up. They're tired of being maligned, minimized, degraded, and they are pushing back.
Are you surprised? First of all, I think a lot of people don't realize what you hear privately among Republicans. I know what I hear. And it's amazing how privately they know Donald Trump is foul and is wrong, and they say things privately, but then publicly they will run on Fox News and run out here on social media and just defend him to the hilt. And you're sitting there going, but I know what you said just a few minutes ago behind closed doors.
Well, he has essentially given them talking points, which they are using, because some of them said, well, we think the call was inappropriate. We think what he did was inappropriate. You saw Trump push back. No, don't say that.
It was perfect.
And so that's not what they're saying now. It was perfect. And so it is sad to see that people would lower themselves to this because they're afraid of a tweet. That's what it's all about. They're afraid that if they don't behave exactly the way he wants them to behave, then he will tweet and that will destroy their careers. It's too bad. I mean, at some point you have to say, what's more important, my career or my integrity?
And I think they have demonstrated that Congresswoman Karen Bass, because they are very concerned about some of them are already in highly contested races for next year. They are already on the hot seat, and it is not about finding out the truth for the American people and having justice done, but about continuing their careers, and that's just a sad state of affairs.
Well, I think that they have decided to trade in integrity for judges, tax cuts, and deregulation. And I think of those three, the judges are the most important,
right,
because we clearly have been able to win elections even in spite of voter suppression. And so the next thing they do is they appoint judges who will be there for life. So when we do take positions, they can overturn them by going to the courts.
How do you see this falling out? Because you have two witnesses today, the former ambassador on Friday, and then I believe there are like 5 to 8, maybe even 10 witnesses scheduled for next week.
Yeah, I think that this will go quickly. I think, and I guess, I'm not positive about this at all, but I think after next week, we will probably be ready to move into the next phase of it, which is the recommendation, assuming that it goes this way, the recommendation of articles of impeachment to the Judiciary Committee, where I do sit. And so that would be part 2 of this that I would think would take place after Thanksgiving.
Well, it is certainly going to be nationally televised hearings. All of the networks plan to carry this live. And so I think folks should also expect Republican shenanigans all throughout the day to try to thwart what's happening. Congresswoman Karen Bass, Chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, we appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Keep up the great work, Congresswoman.
Thank you. Appreciate you.